Sunday Springboard with Melanie Kimberlin and Kimberlin Coaching, where we help strong women flourish after major life transitions. Before we go on with the lesson today, I just want to remind you there are only 2 days left to sign up for the 14-day challenge, the 14-day adventure challenge. It's a Facebook challenge. You can do it on your own time every day. We're going to have a concept. So there'll be a video with me teaching you a concept that will help you live life joyfully, powerfully. I'm calling it a roadmap to success because I'm thinking about life as a trip, but we're thinking about making this life be an adventure trip. So we're going to have the concept, and you'll have a little worksheet, some way you can work on it and make your life better. And then we're also going to do a little bit of a virtual vacation. So I'll give you a link to travel somewhere in the world virtually. We're going to have a private Facebook group, so the people in the group can come in and post. And so by the end of the 2 weeks, you will have learned some good things. You will have some fun virtual vacationing and make some new friends. I hope you will join me. I put the link in the show notes, so click the link and you can go find out more about it, and then you can register for it if you want. So have you ever been in a situation where maybe at work they want you to do something that doesn't feel quite right, or you in your life you're just thinking, is this all there is, or what is my purpose anyway? You know, maybe you're at a job that doesn't feel like it's fitting what you really want to do in life. If these kind of questions are coming to your mind, the spiritual influencer is probably what's bothering you. Now, remember last week we started a new series. This series is on core energy influencers. There are 6 of them. They are spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, social, and environmental. So today we're going to talk about the first one, which is spiritual. So these influencers are factors in your life that can detract from your energy, your engagement, your enthusiasm if they're not aligned with how it works well for you, or they can lift up your energy if they are going well in your life. So today we're going to talk about spiritual. And maybe when I say spiritual, you think religious, but that's not what we're talking about here. That can be actually part of it. But when we say the word spiritual for what we're talking about here, we're talking about the intangible and the immeasurable items that influence your behavior and your energy. So these would be things like your purpose, your beliefs, your goals, your values, your gifts, your desires, your goals, etc. Things like that are kind of abstract, but they make a big difference because they play a big part in who you are and who you want to be. And so we're going to talk today about how to align this, how to figure out who you are and who you want to be, and then see if your life is working that way, and see how you are doing with this spiritual influencer. If you need to make some changes, if things are going well, whatever. I am going to ask you a lot of questions today. So I'll talk to you about a little part of it, and I'll ask you questions. So you may end up wanting to watch the video over again, so you can pause it and write down the answers to the questions. If you will take some time and do this exercise, you will find yourself living with more purpose, joy, and contentment, and more enthusiasm, confidence, and energy for whatever life brings you. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your purpose and your mission. One of the best ways to determine your purpose and mission in life is to think about what you'd like to be remembered for. If you were going to make a contribution and have people remember you for something very important, what would that be? Creating a mission statement can help you focus on your true goals, and that focus can help set you clearly for success. This exercise will help you create a mission statement. Okay, so first I want you to list at least three things as you complete this sentence. Things I want most out of life are. And so consider at the core, what do you want personally or professionally out of life? The 3 things I want most out of life. Okay, next, then you list 3 things as you complete this sentence. Things I would like to experience in my lifetime are. Consider, what would you like to see happen globally, locally, or in any aspect of your life? Next, list at least 3 things as you complete this sentence. Things that I believe make me unique are, consider, what are my gifts? What are my strengths? What are my character traits that make me who I am, make me special? And then next, name at least 3 things as you complete this list. Improvements or positive actions that I can undertake in my life during the next 2 weeks include, and when you do this one, start each statement with the words I can. So I can do this. I can do that. Okay? Once you get all those questions answered, you can use those to create a mission statement to let you know a little bit more about where you're wanting to go in life and look and see how is my life leading me toward these goals. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is vision. So imagine that your life is exactly as you want it to be. Now, if you're in the midst of a major transition right now, imagine your life after you're successfully on the other side of that transition. Excuse me. So create a detailed picture of what that would look like. Write it down, including answers to the following. So in this vision of your life, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? With whom are you doing it? Where are you? How much fun are you having? What do you feel physically? What are you thinking about? And how confident are you? Now I want you to look at these things that you listed and think about how closely does the way you're currently living your life fit in with your vision. A vision can take a while to accomplish, but are you making even any tiny steps right now in your life toward that vision? If you are, great. If you're not, if your life is going this way and your vision is that way, then you might want to take a look and see if you need any help at getting your life aligned with the way you want it to go. Next, we want to talk about values. So values are the principles you live by. These are a product of the experiences you've had. So there are all kinds of exercises called values assessments that are very helpful to help you decide your values. We do not have time to do a thorough job of that right now. And there are lots of them, and most of the time you get this list of all these values, and then you're supposed to pick the ones that are most important to you. And they're all good. However, the one that I did that I felt like was the most powerful, I did it when I was working on some stuff with my eating disorder. And the therapist gave us these values on cards, and we had to sort them in different categories, and then we sorted them again, and then we sorted them again. And then at the end, then we came up with our values. And I found that a lot easier to do than the list. So I went out and I found that on the internet. Of course, you can find anything. And I've got it now, and I can give it to you. The best way to get it from me, you could send me your email in a messenger, or if you go to my website, KimberlyCoaching.com, on the Work With Me page at the bottom, there is a form you can fill out, and there's a place where you can write down what you want. Just write down there, send me the values assessment, and I will send that to you through an email, and the cards that you can print out and instructions to help you do that. So before we can work on the values very well, we have to know what our values are. But one of the things we have to look at is, are your values your own values? Are they ones that you want, that you've chosen? Your family, your religion, your team, your community all influence your values. You might be driven by your values, but the values you may be living by aren't actually the ones of what you really want out of life. So when you look at this today, you want to look at and check these values and see, are these important to me truly, or am I just saying something I've heard in the past? So what values are truly the most important to you? You want to make sure that they're ones that are relevant today, I actually just today was talking about something that I believed. It actually wasn't today, but really recently, and it was something that I had read about something, and I read it a long time ago, I mean like years ago. And it turns out that that is not true today. And I read it then and I just kept it in my head all these years. And I never even thought to reevaluate to see whether it was true anymore. So just look at things and see, is this still relevant? Is this still meaningful to me? Many of them may be always meaningful, but some may not be. So one of the things that can be helpful to remember is that when things are going well, your values are being honored. When things are not going so well, one or two values may be being challenged. When determining your values ratings, which ones are the most important, think about a time when you truly enjoyed your life and consider what value or values were being honored then. You can also think about a challenging time and try to see what values were being challenged or were missing. So the next section we want to talk about is fulfillment of desires. What drives you? How aware are you of what motivates you to do something? When you know what's in it for me, you can learn why you're more motivated to do certain things. Now, when I say what's in it for me, that kind of sounds like selfish, self-centered, shallow, but that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about, why do you do what you do? Even if you're helping people unselfishly, you're doing it for a reason. Maybe you just love the feeling of serving it. You feel love when you do it. You feel appreciation or whatever. But so I'm not talking about this in a selfish way of what's in it for me, but just why do you do what you do? So your drivers are based in part on your values, your purpose, and your mission. These help decide what you're doing and why you're doing them. 6 of the most common and basic drivers are money, fame, sex, power, love, and peace of mind. When one or more of these drivers is important to you, you base your behavior on getting more of it. So drivers could also be negatively based. For example, you may do something in order to avoid pain or embarrassment. So think about this. What are your top 3 drivers? So then talking about goals. Knowing what your goals are create a clarity that keeps your energy high. When you know what you want, you're working to get it. What are your overall goals? To be truthful, for most of my life, I didn't have any goals. And anytime I would listen to things and people would talk about your goals, I would be going, I don't have any goals. I just want to get married and have kids. And I did, and then that did not go as I expected it to. It was a wonderful thing, but now today I have got a goal of doing this life coaching. I want to help people. I want to use these wonderful skills that I've learned, and it is a strong goal for me. And has it affected my whole life? It affects what I focus on, what I spend my time on, how I think. So what are your goals? How are you living your life in such a way to accomplish those goals, or are you doing that? Do you need to change? Do you want to find a goal if you're like me and you didn't have a goal? Okay, now ability to create life balance. Now what we like to think is that life balance means all aspects of our life are balanced out and we're spending the same amount of time on everything. And that in reality, that's not true. Sometimes you spend more time on your professional life, sometimes you spend more on your family life, sometimes you spend more on your personal life. That's okay. But when you look at a stream of time, does it balance out? What areas of your life do you feel like you're not spending enough time, you're not giving enough attention to? When you have areas of your life that you're not, this contributes to you feeling off balance, out of whack. You're not at peace, you're restless, and you're not feeling energetic for the things that you do or that you aren't doing because your mind is maybe thinking over here, oh, I need to be doing this over here. So look at that and see is there a way that you need to spend more time on different things? And then this question is, by making the choices you're making about where to focus your time and effort, which of your values are being honored? Which are not being honored? And then what, if any, changes would you like to make in your focus? So as you can see, there are a lot of different ways that this spiritual influencer can help either raise your energy or it can detract from it. As you look at each factor, you can determine whether you're living in accordance with your desires, your goals, your values, your purposes, and make changes to bring your life closer in spiritual harmony. If you feel like you need some help doing this, consider hiring me as your coach. If that's something that you're open to learning more about, go to my website, KimberlynCoaching.com. Fill out the form at the bottom of the Work With Me page. I will follow up with you and we can have an easygoing conversation to decide where to go from there. Don't forget, only 2 days left to sign up for the challenge. I would love for you to join me. I think we're going to have a great time. I put the link, click the link. Meanwhile, have a great week. I hope you learned something today, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.